Yeah, no.
And send it out.
No.
They're probably not popping into Clayton, New Mexico on a Saturday afternoon.
Nope. All right, I'm getting ready to go live. As soon as I can tell that I'm definitely on, I'm going to start yammering.
Okay.
Yeah, 15 minutes.
Yeah, I like to go with 15. So, and I should be live right now. We are live.
I should have worn shorts.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I didn't. Huh? No, we need a
Welcome everybody to our game. It's an afternoon game today. I know you might have college football going on the TV while you're watching on your phones. Maybe you got an iPad out. Maybe you got this up on the big screen. But we're here in Clayton, New Mexico on a beautiful afternoon. It's a little bit under the 80 degrees right now, if you can imagine that. It's probably about 137 degrees at home right now with how warm it's been this week. But right now in Clayton, New Mexico, we're at altitude of almost 5,000 feet. About 2,500 feet higher than at Turpin, and it's beautiful. Guys, there's some clouds in the sky. The grass here is green and lush. It is beautiful, and the guys are getting to play an afternoon game with the travel, with everything else. We're playing and matching up with Clayton at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Clayton, New Mexico. This is a town that you may have heard of. It may be a team that you've heard of if you're familiar with New Mexico sports, but for those of us who've grown up around Turpin, we know of Clayton, maybe driving through on the way, going to go skiing, maybe on your way going to Albuquerque or Santa Fe. But Clayton, New Mexico is a powerhouse in small town sports in New Mexico. They went on a run where they went to the state finals. It felt like almost every year up through the early 2000s. Once we got past 2012, things kind of changed. 2013 was their last state title. Now, last year, they made it all the way to the state finals and lost here on their home field. In New Mexico, things are done a little bit differently. The class that they are in is a fairly small class. There's less than 20 teams overall in their class. Turpin facing that again for the first time in a long time, where our classification changed and we're in a class that's much smaller. But Clayton is used to it, and last year they got the chance to make an improbable run. God was on their side, as some of the locals told me. They went through the season with a record that wasn't looking that great. They hit the playoffs and turned on the afterburners, making it all the way to the finals to play here on their home field before falling to a very strong powerhouse team from across the state who came here on the home field. It's a gorgeous stadium. It's got a very old school feel to it. I'm going to give you a little bit of a look at what we can see here. Beautiful fences that go around this field. You've got the trees set up down at one end, and then concrete stadium. The fences out here are hand quarried sandstone. It's just a gorgeous stadium. It was built back in 38, finished in 1940, and it sits on the site where there used to be a beef processing plant here. Not the same thing as like a National Beef, but similar. And that leads to some interesting holdovers. Back over here in the corner of the stadium, you can see something that looks like a beehive off there in the distance. That actually used to be a place where they would burn some of the refuse, some of the bones. Later on, I was told that in later history, much more recently, they would actually slow cook briskets in those. But back in the day, what they were built for was an industrial use. And there's still people who have furniture and things here from back in the day when they would process the hides as a part of breaking down the cattle. Clayton's coming onto the field. They are the Yellow Jackets. They'll be playing in black and orange today. Your Cardinals aren't out on the field yet. They came out for warm-ups earlier. They'll be out in a little bit. You'll see they're wearing white and red today. What do we expect from the Cardinals today? Cardinals have some changes. Cardinals passed on some fantastic seniors last year. At the end of the year, Cardinals were racking up the awards, including a senior who graduated, co-defensive player of the year, Carson Hendrick. They had several all-district selections, and many of those are back. Quarterback Carson Peters, running back Jet Huffman, defensive end Ryder Ireland, and linebacker Riley Fowler, are all back from last year's team. Cardinals did graduate a whole pile of great seniors: Carson Hendrick, Ricky Olguin, Ryan Hammock, Gunnar Post, Austin Peters, a whole lot. A couple of the guys that were on the team last year have some different life decisions for this year, so they aren't on the team. So the depth chart for the Cardinals has changed up quite a bit. We'll be seeing some new looks for the Cardinals, but expect to see a lot of similarities to last year. The high-flying air raid offense. You've still got tremendous offensive players in all district selections. Carson Peters, who will be behind center, taking snaps and heaving it downfield, and his number one target, one of the most dynamic players in all of Class B last year, Jet Huffman, who managed to do something that hadn't been done ever in Turpin history. He had over 1,000 yards receiving and over 1,000 yards rushing, and had over 36 touchdowns on offense alone. So the Cardinals bring back a lot. They've got a ton of the offense back. The lines will be drastically different, as there have been a lot of seniors moving on. 3 senior starters last year. There was some other depth that will be coming in, but not people who started the season last year. Now, last year, one of the things that is a bright spot is we had several people who got hurt and played very little last year that are back. So it's gaining experience, but not game experience. It's from knowledge. It's from what they've learned in practice. And so we have a couple, and specifically referring to Jackson Leonard and Ryan Olguin, with what they weren't able to do on the field last year, but they'll come in fresh this year, hungry, and looking to have fantastic years. So Clayton's lined up on the far side. We're looking to welcome the Cardinals onto the field shortly. A couple other little side notes for you as we're getting ready for the game. I told you Clayton made it to the finals last year and lost. Last week, Clayton did have a game. They faced off. Tell you what, while we're doing this, why don't I get the cheerleaders on screen for you so you can enjoy them. Last week, the Cardinals didn't have a game yet. This is the season opener for Turpin, but Clayton did. Clayton was playing against Springfield, Colorado. You might remember Springfield, Colorado. That's who Cardinals faced off against for the opening game last year, but weather did not cooperate. The two teams were only matched up for a very short amount of time. In fact, only 2 plays before the game had to be called due to lightning that extended on for hours. So we were stuck in Springfield waiting on a game that we never really got to see or take part in. Rankings-wise, Clayton is ranked 8th in the state at the end of last year. They did play in the finals, but those computer rankings would have placed them at 8th in the state, which is kind of neat. I did go ahead and Clayton is so regarded on Max Preps. New Mexico does things a little different with stats and rosters. They're required to be on Max Preps, so I could learn a lot about the team from there. I went ahead and looked at the Cardinals on Max Preps. It's something that in previous years can be an interesting thing to see. And in so doing, I found out that the Cardinals actually are ranked top 100 nationally. We finished last year ranked 94th in the country among all small schools, and in Oklahoma we were ranked 11th. That's for all of your 8-man, and that was moving up almost a 24 spots from the previous year. So Cardinals doing very well in the program, coming along. You know I love history, and the Cardinals. Just a reminder for you, if you haven't ever joined us before, the Cardinals, one of the top football programs in the state historically. We're number 11 in all classes as far as how many titles we own, and we're number 4 of small schools in Oklahoma. We do have 9 total state championships among all sports just since the year 2000, so in the last quarter century. For football, we have 8 titles overall. But our most recent was in 97. So the Cardinals are due, hoping to make a run. We've had 2 really good years the last 2 years. And A proud program facing off a proud program, separated by a little less than 150 miles and a state border. These two teams looking to face off shortly. We got captains getting ready to come out on the field. Leonard, Huffman, Ireland, and CP will be heading out. Your captains for Clayton, you've got Daniel Mancaro, Corvin Scott, Simon Smith,
Captains for today's game are
Isaac Quintana,
Aiden McGuire,
and Aiden McGuire.
Simon Smith, and
A
Daniel
name
Marquette
that
for the
I
Yellow
expect to be
Jackets.
calling a lot when talking to people about Clayton's team. One of the keys to their season and their run through the playoffs, and who they expect to rely on in a big way this year, number 21, Omar Valdez. He plays all over on the offense. He's not the quarterback, but he'll be all over the place on the offense. Mancaro is the quarterback, but Valdez carries the load. He's a big dude, carries the ball a lot, and then on defense, he carries the hit stick in a big way. So be ready for that name.
Turpin will receive the opening kickoff. The Yellow Jackets will defend the north end of the field.
Cardinals win the kickoff, or the coin flip. We'll choose to receive.
May you please stand for the national anthem played by the Clayton Band. May you please bow your heads in a moment of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for today and thank you for the beautiful weather. Lord, I pray for an injury-free game today, Lord, and that everybody plays with great sportsmanship. Lord, I pray that everything we do is put towards you and in worship of you, Lord. And it's in your name I pray. Amen.
Today's starters, offensive starters for the Turpin Cardinals: number 3, Carson Peters; number 6, Riley Fowler; number 7, Saul Alvarado; number 12, Mason Nelson; number 34, Jet Huffman; number 35, Alex Alvarado; number 40, Jackson Laner; number 50, Ryder Ireland; and number 72, Ryan O'Gean. Defensive starters for the Yellow Jackets: number 2, Nathan Aruthier at outside linebacker; number 5, Aiden McGuire at guard; number 7, Adrian Quintana at safety; number 13, Christian Peterson at cornerback; number 15, Daniel Monquetto at cornerback; number 21, Omar Valdez at outside linebacker; number 33, Eli Ritchie at guard; number 62, Corvin Scott at defensive tackle; number 72, Simon Smith at defensive tackle. Omar
All right.
Valdez set to kick for the Yellow Jackets.
Valdez, you get that name right away. He's lining up to kick. Cardinals getting ready to come onto the field. Peters is back deep. Oh, the onside kick. By the way, be ready on film. Clayton onside kicks all the time. The goal, presumably, potentially get some extra turnovers here and there. Should get some possessions. But the other thing is it takes away kickoff returns. So Clayton's willing to give up field position and start the Cardinals off at only 50, 50 yards to go for the Cardinals. Cardinals come out. You got two wide receivers down at the bottom side of the formation coming towards you. One on the far side, CP's in the back with Huffman. Down on this side, you got Alvarado and Fowler. On the far side, can't see the number. I'll get that picked up for you. Oh, that's Ireland on the far side. Your lineman, Alex Alvarado, at center. You got Ryan Algeen out there and Jackson Leonard. So that's your starters on offense for the Cardinals.
False start on the offense.
False start on the Cardinals.
5-yard penalty.
5-yard penalty and repeat first down.
For the Cardinals.
Cardinals ran the air raid last year and had tremendous success offensively, piling up yards and touchdowns. Peters in the shotgun. He's got Huffman out to his right. Quick option. Here goes Huffman. He's got an opening. He's going to take off. Huffman's going to be in for an early score. Well, first play's a penalty. Just a moment later, Cardinals on their first snap to gain yardage goes full length of the field for a touchdown. Cardinals up 6 immediately. Only 8 or 9 seconds off the scoreboard or off the clock. Hand off to Huffman going for 2, and he's in. Cardinals with an immediate 8-point lead. It is New Mexico, so it's a different state. If you're wondering, are there different rules in New Mexico? There are a few. I'll detail those as we get a little further into the game. It's not much different. Expect to see things pretty much the same. The main differences that you're going to notice have to do with late game and points. So Cardinals score, and with only one offensive play, they go backwards on a penalty. Finally get a play that counts and go the full length of the field. Huffman in for his first touchdown of his senior citizen. Of his senior season. Clayton's lining up, getting ready to return this kick after the Cardinals will be setting up in a moment. Valdez is back there with Quintana. There are two Quintanas. This is Adrian Quintana, who's back deep. We'll see who the Cardinals put out here on the kick coverage team. Huffman has been kicking in practice. He's coming out there. Huffman might have a season where he does a little bit of everything. Cardinals' last 2 years have graduated a huge amount of players who put in playing time. A lot of these guys who are out there for the Cardinals, they've got a lot of experience, but a lot of it's come from practice time. So game time hasn't been as much, but Cardinals still fielding a lot of talent out there. Ball falls off of the tee. Huffman will head back out and reset it. Again, it's a gorgeous day here, not quite 80 degrees. Very little breeze, though. Sun's coming down on us pretty good. Huffman's going to line up. Here's the kickoff. Quintana is going to take it. Valdez beside him looking to block. Quintana gets an opening and then is stopped on the sideline. Mason Nelson with the stop. Number 12 for the Cardinals gets the tackle. And we'll see the Cardinals defense coming out on the field for the first time.
The 31-yard line.
Defensive line. You got Logan Ebersol right over the ball. To his sides on the edges, you've got Ryder Ireland and Jackson Leonard. Linebackers are Alvarado and Fowler. Your defensive backs, Huffman, Saul Alvarado. Oh, first pitch already to Valdez. Valdez, power formation, follows behind his blockers. Good gain on the play, almost 9 yards, but a flag is thrown on the play. Not sure who's it's against. It's thrown in the area where you would expect the holding. It is holding against the Yellow Jackets.
Holding on the offense.
Runs around the edge are tough. You got to be very careful keeping the hands in the correct places. It isn't always just about whether or not you got a handful of jersey or tackled somebody. So Clayton gets a good gain on their first play, but just like the Cardinals, first play won't count. Instead, have to march it back and reset and go again. Okay, Cardinals defense. I didn't get the chance to name off everybody. The other defensive back on the far side of the field is Carson Peters. Cardinals are in tight. Fake. Looking deep. It's lofted over the middle. Coming down the left side, far away from us. You can see there's a pass intended for Quintana. It was lofted. CP was close. Quintana gets a hand on it, but he's unable to haul it in. It'll be an incomplete pass.
They did a good job staying in lanes.
Now, Clayton is going to run an interesting offense. It's very hard to describe. You're going to see, it's almost a trick offense. So, expect to see a lot of interesting stuff going on. They're lining out Peterson here on the near side, giving him a lot of room. That's 20 yards to go for Clayton. And you'll notice they had kind of a modified pistol formation. They handed off to Valdez. They had 3 guys back behind the line. I think they were trying to trick the Cardinals, but that left nobody up front for Valdez for blocking except his linemen, and they didn't spread the Cardinals out very well. Cardinals defense is ready and gets the tackle after only a couple of yards. It's going to be 3rd and long to go. Scoreboard says 17, only a gain of 3 yards. Ball's currently spotted on the 24-yard line. So Clayton's in a hole right now. Cardinals got the early score. Clayton needs to answer. They've got Valdez in the slot. Fowler's on top of him. They bring Valdez in the cross, looking deep, another loft. It's going to go way out of bounds. They were looking over on the edge for Adrian Quintana again, but he had no chance at it. That ball landed about 3 yards out of bounds. It is a brand new quarterback for Clayton this year. They graduated a bunch of depth last year in a similar fashion to what the Cardinals did. And so they're looking to have youngsters come in and fill some spots. And so they'll expect some growing pains on it. Now, there is a flag on the play. That penalty will go against the Cardinals.
It should be in 2.
So it is not a first down, but a pretty significant penalty. It'll be 3rd down and 6. So Clayton gets another shot at it. Drop it. Oh, they looked over for Valdez. He was looking downfield. Moncaro looked downfield. Not sure if he was faking it that way or if he checked off. If he checked off, that's pretty impressive because he looked over to Valdez quickly and tried to get it out to him quick, but the throw was off the mark. Valdez couldn't get a hand on it, and it's going to be 4th down and about 6 to go. Clayton will set up in punt formation. We'll see if they go ahead and play it this way. They do have Valdez back deep to punt. Valdez, similar to Huffman in that he can do a whole lot of everything for the Yellow Jackets team, where Huffman can fill and wear a whole lot of hats for the Cardinals team. Valdez is back to punt. 4th and 6 and deep in their own territory. Not likely to see Clayton go for it. Here's the punt. Not a good punt. It's almost straight up. Cardinals got to be careful they don't touch it. That landed on the Yellow Jackets side of the field. So that's less than a 20-yard punt. Cardinals in great shape here after the punt.
48-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Cardinals.
We've barely run any time off the clock. Clayton ran several incomplete passes, which would stop the clock. Only 10 and a half in. Cardinals got the ball again with their second possession already.
33 is your no.
Last week, Springfield, Colorado was the opponent for Clayton. They played a pretty low-scoring game, went to overtime, tied at 16. CP takes advantage. Defensive lineman for the Yellow Jackets itching to come across. Carson gets them jumping with a nice barking cadence. And that'll be an automatic 5. The Cardinals will move up. It'll be still first down and 5. Now the Cardinals will be set up at about the 43-yard line. Trips out to the left. Huffman, Alvarado, and Ireland. Fowler on the right side. Open backfield. It's pitched out to Ireland. It's a screen. Ireland pushing forward, bulling through. He's going to gain close to first down yardage. We'll see how they spot it and how they call it. It is a first down.
Gain is enough for a first down. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Cardinals.
Cardinals working with only first down so far due to penalties and the gains and then the long touchdown. Cardinals haven't seen the second down yet on the season. However, we're only 2 minutes into the season as far as game clock goes. Peters in the backfield. He's got Fowler out to his right. Here comes Huffman. It's a little jet sweep. Huffman looking for an opening. He breaks through one tackle, breaks through another. He followed behind Fowler. Alvarado was out there. Ireland had worked his way downfield. Cardinals get another first down.
Number 33, Eli Ritchie.
Cardinals offense currently overpowering Clayton. Looking very good so far. CP's in the backfield. Huffman's to his right. Alvarado and Fowler set up. Split right. It's a pass over to Fowler in the slot. He makes one man miss. Alvarado with a beautiful block, and Fowler's in for a touchdown. Cardinals offense clicking in every way possible so far. Haven't seen a second down yet, and 2 touchdowns in less than 3 minutes of game time. Cardinals will set up to go for 2. Huffman, he's open, he's in. 16-0, Cardinals with the lead here in Clayton, New Mexico.
Turpin Cardinals 16, Clayton Yellow Jackets.
2 series so far and 2 scores for the Cardinals. Everything's coming up roses so far.
We would like to encourage the fans to help make this a memorable experience for the players.
Here's your Cardinal cheerleaders.
By supporting them in a respectful manner and to remember to compete with class.
I'm going to brag on this stadium some more. I got here, with the team, rode with them today, and got the chance to see this stadium up close and personal. Walked around, saw the hand-hewn stones, the chisel marks all over the place here. These walls built in the 30s and finished off in 1940. Just so much history here. Concrete stands, but it's been kept up beautifully. Very proud school. They love their football here. Clayton, New Mexico holds 3 different records in New Mexico football history.
So you were 3s that time.
We'll go through that here in a little bit, but this is a very proud team. They have a lot of history, like the Cardinals have a lot of history. Cardinals history starts at long back, but for the Cardinals, a lot of what we refer to starts in the 60s with Coach Smith. Really kicking off then, the Cardinals winning the first of their titles back then. But for Clayton, it's a different story. They were playing football before Cardinals even had a school. They have a rivalry. Just one of their rivalries actually goes back further than Turpin's history. So, a lot here for Clayton. Kickoff is going to go to Valdez. The junior. Cardinals have to be careful with him. He's dangerous. They'll ride him out of bounds over on the sideline.
17 yards.
About a 17-yard return.
10 for the Yellow Jackets. From the 21
Nelson again in on the tackle on kick coverage. Yellow Jackets will set up for their second drive. Their first one got stymied by the Cardinal defense. The short punt left a short field for the Cardinal offense, and didn't take much time on the clock for the Cardinals to turn around and add another touchdown on the board. Clayton coming out. They're in a modified pistol. They've got Valdez out to the side of the quarterback. Hand off to Valdez. Power runner looking for some space. He gets through one tackle. Fowler comes in from the backside, knocks him over and takes him down, but not before about an 8-yard gain.
It'll be 2nd down and 3 for the Yellow Jackets.
Nice job there by the offense for Clayton. Valdez, with all that size, very patient runner, picking his holes, waiting for blocks to set up, and he's able to get almost 8. We'll call it a long 7 or a short 8. Mancaro sets back. This time it's a pitch to Quintana. Quintana tries to cut it back, and the Cardinals' defense suffocates him in the middle of the field. It'll be 3rd and short. Cardinals step up there.
No gain on the play. It's 3rd down and 3 for the Yellow Jackets.
Very short gain on the play. 3rd and short coming up. You got a big power back like Valdez. We'll see if Coach Garcia will call his number. Maybe we see some trickery. Maybe Mancaro will take off with the ball.
72's back.
Mancaro fakes the pitch back. Hands off to Valdez. Cardinals defense. Fowler knifing through the blocks. Finds an opening. Gets Valdez. Ties up the ankles. Brings him down in the backfield. And it's a loss on the play. Clayton's going to take a timeout. They've got to figure something out here. This Cardinal defense is not giving up the yardage. Great job on the penetration there. The line held up the blockers from Clayton, kept the backers clean. Fowler found an opening, knife through. Valdez trying to take advantage of the misdirection. Mancaro was trying to get it over to Quintana to get him going one way. Tried to pull the Cardinals off our defense to the right and then hand off to Valdez, cutting back to the left. But Fowler gummed the whole thing up, coming through, knifing past and taking out Valdez by the ankles. It's going to be 4th down coming up, and Clayton's in a tough spot here. They're down by 2 touchdowns already. It's 16-0. They haven't even played through 4 minutes of game clock yet. It's still 8:20 left to go on the clock. Coach Garcia's got to talk things over. Last week, it took them a full amount of game time just to get 16 points, and then they had to go to overtime to get the winning score to beat Springfield 22-16. Already, the Cardinals have 16. Clayton hasn't managed to stop the Cardinals from anything except touchdowns. Clayton comes out. They're on offense. They're not going for the punt. This could be a quick kick. It is not a quick kick. They go over the middle. Oh, it's on the ground. Clayton turns the ball over inside their own 30. Cardinals are going to have the ball at about the 29-yard line. Garcia went for a huge gamble, and it did not pay off. Cardinals defense comes up huge. Mancaro dropped back, looked over the middle, had a man open but couldn't deliver on the pass. Cardinals' pressure was enough to force him to hurry that throw a little bit. Pass ends up on the grass just short of the fingertips of his intended receiver. And now Clayton has to go back on defense and face this Cardinals offense that they have not figured out how to stop yet. Peters is back in the backfield. He's got trips left. Huffman's coming in motion behind him. Look out for Huffman. Over the top, nice little swing pass. Huffman comes over beside his teammate Fowler. Gain of about 5. Clayton does a good job of flowing with the play and holding Huffman. Cardinals will have their first 2nd down of the game. Gain of about 5 yards. Ball be spotted just outside the 20. Cardinals almost into the red zone again. Cardinals keeping the same keeping the same men on the field. How about we try that? Peters takes a snap. They're sending people downfield. Over the middle. Huffman's going to catch it. Huffman made a little move like he was looking back. They did not keep track of him. Should have been a safety there or a linebacker, depending on how they're playing their defense. Neither one had the assignment. Peters lofts it over the top, hits Huffman, and it's another quick score for the Cardinals. They're now up 22-0 with no sign of stopping. Lining up for the 2-point conversion. It's a pass over on the edge to Fowler, and it's another 2 points. Cardinals up big.
That brings the score.
Cardinals offense is rolling.
24, Clayton Yellow Jackets.
It's an interesting thing to see when you get teams coming together from different states. The difference is in play style. The difference is in how they approach the team cultures, how they play the game. And Clayton, one of the best in the state of New Mexico for this size of school in a different state. 120 high schoolers in their school, very similar size to Turpin. Both towns very proud of their football teams. Clayton a little more out and remote than Turpin is. Turpin having towns like Guyman, Liberal, Dodge City a couple hours away, stuff like that. Clayton a little more stuck out on its own, but in watching this so far, you could make the case that Oklahoma high school football might have an edge on what we see with New Mexico high school football. Now, that's not quite a fair comparison. Both these teams lost a bunch of starters from last year.
Valdez and Quintana back deep to receive for the Yellow Jackets. Peters set to kick off for the Cardinals.
Cardinals will set up to kick off. Huffman getting ready. Back deep, Valdez and Quintana. Nelson's had the tackle on the first 2 kickoff coverage unit plays. What's going to happen this time? Huffman's getting ready. His coverage unit's out there with him. Huffman's kick. It's going to end up at about the 3rd. Oh, he falls down. Man, nothing's going right for Clayton. Oh, he might have rolled an ankle. Quintana came over and returned it. He's kind of slow getting up, but he's not walking with a limp. I tell you what, the grass out there, you walk down on it, and it is a carpet, folks. It is fantastic. Just lush. Feels good. It's nice and cool out there. Beautiful day. Little bit of a breeze, maybe 5-10 miles an hour. Only 80 degrees. Just a little bit of clouds. Not enough for cloud cover, but I tell you what, I thought we were going to walk in and we'd feel a blow dryer blowing in our faces like we would if we were playing this game in Turpin. Next year, we'll get to host these guys, assuming we are doing a home-and-home with them. Pass out on the edge. Clayton trying something a little different. Cardinals defense flows to the spot, swallows up the ball carrier. It's Aiden McGuire, the senior. Normally, he plays guard, or at least he's listed as a guard for him, but he's out there hauling in that pass, gaining a couple of yards. Cardinals defense coming to him quick. That Cardinals defense back out there. Let's run through them one more time. You got Ryan Olguin out there, Jackson Leonard, Ryder Ireland. Your linebackers are Fowler and Alex Alvarado. Jet Huffman over here on the side, lining up tight on coverage. Clayton looking downfield. It's a long pass. Got back behind Jet. Long catch. Huffman catches up. Oh, the ball's loose. Ball's loose. Huffman might have it. Huffman's got it. We got a flag. I'm not sure what happened. Something's not good. I think it's on them. The official pointing back towards Clayton. So it's a dead ball.
There is a flag on the play.
You had 3 guys over there.
I think he's saying like an unnecessary roughness or an unsportsmanlike conduct. So there might have been a little bit of trash talk. But Clayton gets the catch. The run after the play. Loss of, it is a turnover on the play, I think. And then an unsportsmanlike conduct on Turpin.
15-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 10.
Oh, it is not a loss. They're saying Clayton did not lose the ball, or that it was a dead ball when he lost the ball.
Hold on, yeah, he's on our side. You're fine, it's on our side. The one that's on our side.
Are we on offense?
He's on our side.
Yeah, it looks like we're on offense. Yeah, we're on offense. Okay. Confusion here. They do things a little differently and just trying to determine what's going on. So we are on offense. Cardinals are set up. So it was a turnover. Unsportsmanlike conduct was after the play, but the turnover had already happened, so it's a dead ball. Cardinals are setting up on offense. Longest field position of the year, longest field so far. Set up at about the 20. Peters will be taking the snap. He's got Huffman out to his right. He's got Fowler split out to his right side. And he's got Ireland and Saul Alvarado. Clayton's going to go ahead and take a timeout now. Here's your Cardinals cheerleaders.
Black and white, Cardinals, let's fight! Red, 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 black and white, Cardinals, let's fight!
There's probably a hand up at 10, and he's going to give you the 5. He'll give you the hand up at 10, and he'll count you to 5. So we have time even when the hand goes up.
Touchdown, team! Touchdown, team! Touchdown, team!
All right. Cardinals setting up on offense. We're back from the timeout. Peters takes a snap, looks over on the right. He's got Saul Alvarado. Saul breaks one tackle, breaks two tackles. He's got nothing but an open field in front of him. It's a race. Here goes Alvarado down the sideline. He's got one man coming in, pushing him out of bounds at about the 3. Great job there. Saul could have gone down. He had a man on him, had him draped over him like an old coat. Saul shakes him off, gets another tackler coming in on him, knocks him away. His brother Alex over there helping fence off things so nobody else can come close. Alvarado takes off down the sideline, tiptoeing, tap dancing right along, ballet, whatever you want to call it. Gets all the way down inside the 5. It's close. One man comes over, sprints desperately, knocks out Saul inside the 5, and the Cardinal offense will set up there. Big play offense in evidence here from the Cardinals. Over and over. Splits to each side. They spread everybody out, and this time Carson Peters will call his own number. It's a quarterback draw, and the Cardinals will score easily. That'll make it 30-0. There was no chance on that one. Clayton had to send out players to each side to cover the 4 different Cardinal wideouts. That left only 4 guys to cover Carson Peters, and he had 3 blockers. Once he took the snap, it was chaos. An opening the size of the parting of the Red Sea was there. Carson easily walks in. This time it goes to Huffman. Nobody touches him. It's another 2 points. The Cardinals, less than 6 minutes into the 24 season, already have 32 points to their credit. Defense standing up and doing a great job holding Clayton. Clayton has the one big play, but the turnover at the end of it negates it. And the Cardinals racking up the yards and racking up the points. Here's your Cardinal cheerleaders.
Who's your next one, Coach? You want to get ready a little bit? Get ready a little bit on defense.
Cardinals will be setting up, getting ready to kick off again. Huffman's been doing it all so far. He's been on defense. He's been on offense. He's been kicking off for special teams. Cardinals with a 32-point lead are cruising through only 6 minutes. There's a whole lot of time left on the clock, and we're not even close to the end of the first quarter yet.
I ain't running into Watson.
Let's see if we can run through how it's out there on coverage. Mason Nelson, Saul Alvarado, Ryder Ireland. Oh, here's Huffman kicking it. Oh! They're going to go ahead and give him a touchback. He touched it before it went in, but they'll give him the touchback. We've also got out there Gage Peters. You got number 14, Angel Moreno. Number 10, Logan Ratzliff is out there on kick coverage.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets from the 20-yard line.
So good job to those guys. They haven't allowed any sort of decent return yet. That's set the defense up, pinning the Yellow Jackets deep in their own territory so far for each one of these kickoffs. They'll head back out there. We'll see if there's any change-ups to the lineup. Olguin is back out there over center. Ireland to one side of him, Leonard to the other. Linebackers are still Alex Alvarado, Riley Fowler. Out here on this side, we got Elijah Navarro making his debut for the Cardinals. Handoff to Valdez going the other way towards the Clayton sideline. Peters steps up. He's in on the play. Alvarado might have been over there also. Fowler looked to have chased as well. They knock him out of bounds after about a 5 or 6 yard gain.
Producing too, your backside end may be able to chase those guys. 21 takes that step back.
Playing safety, Saul Alvarado. He's back out there after the long play on offense.
Go down because their guys
So
pulling.
Elijah Navarro over here on the near side.
I don't know if they've shown anything that's coming back to it.
He'd been at Forgan early in his high school career, went to Liberal for a year, came over and joined the Cardinals last year, but wasn't ruled eligible to play yet due to the moving. But he's out there as a senior and playing and doing a good job. Showed well in scrimmages earlier this year. This time they try to go up the middle. Short gain on the play. Cardinals defense stuffing it. That front five of the Cardinals not allowing anything big in the middle so far, putting a lot of pressure on Clayton. They're having to drop back and try to get big gains through the air. They like putting air under the ball. Mancaro doesn't throw it hard, but he's able to get a lot of distance on the throw, and he's been looking downfield. He's able to hit on one big one so far. We'll see if Coach Garcia is going to try to go downfield again. Oh, they're pulling it in tight. You got a power formation coming up. Can the Cardinals defend against it? Valdez goes in motion. Oh, here comes the quarterback up the middle. That'll be good for a first down. Mancaro calling his own number right through the middle. He'll have a first down and a little bit more. So Yellow Jackets get a first down. Cardinals defense bending a little bit here. They've been playing almost perfect so far, so now we're getting to see that Yellow Jacket offense heat up a little bit. Last year, again, they played all the way to the end of the season. They were playing the state finals here on their own field. So they've got some experience, and you're starting to see what they can do when they adjust. Mancaro takes it. Look downfield deep again. He's got a man. Alvarado's got him, drags him down, and it's Christian Peterson. So it was going to be a tough order for the Cardinals to shut down this Yellow Jacket offense. They have a lot of looks. They use a lot of misdirection. And Mancaro finds an open man downfield. They're into the Cardinals territory for the second time. Last time they got into Cardinals territory, they turned it over on a fumble. Cardinals defense responded well to the challenge. What will they be able to do today? And the second time, we're still in the first quarter, by the way. Mancaro gets another man coming around behind. It's Quintana. Quintana cuts it up the field. We'll see, it looks like about 7 yards on the carry. Second down and 4 to go. Alex Alvarado's going to come out. Angel Moreno will step into his spot. Cardinals starting to explore their depth here. So Navarro coming off the bench. Moreno coming off the bench. Power formation again. A little bit of motion. Looking downfield again. It's a nice catch. Looking again downfield for Peterson. Peterson makes the catch. It's another first down for Clayton. Tell you what, Clayton's offense, all the motion and misdirections, kind of fun to watch. Cardinals defense has done a good job so far, and having a 32-point lead makes it a little more enjoyable to watch, knowing that a lot of that pressure's off. But the Cardinals got a hold here. Here's the pistol again. Mancaro pops back. Oh, look, jumping it. Fowler. If he goes two hands, he would have been high-stepping into the end zone. He saw the route, jumped it, got a hand on it, and knocked it down. So he gets credit for a pass defense, but man, if he gets two hands up, that was an easy pass he would have been able to hold on to, and he could have taken off. I guarantee you nobody on the field or in the stands knows that better than Riley right now. Cardinals have one turnover already. Last year, Cardinals defense was very good at getting turnovers. Already got one so far through only one quarter of play. Motion, handoff to Valdez. Valdez picking his way through, getting some yardage.
Valdez on the carry for the Yellow Jackets.
Third and long. Third and 8.
It'll be 3rd down, 8 to go. Valdez doesn't get much, so the incomplete pass knocked down by Fowler, and then Valdez only getting a couple puts Clayton behind the 8 ball here. Literally 8 yards to go. 3rd down, though, but they're deep in Cardinal territory. Setting up at about the 20-yard line, 19 to be exact. Ebersol's back in. Huffman's back in, so Cardinals using some depth here. Mancaro takes a snap, no motion this time, handoff to Valdez. Fowler almost takes down Valdez in the backfield, dove for his feet but couldn't get him. He got him on one of those earlier. Gain of about 5 for Valdez. Valdez makes it around the end, gets a little bit of yardage, gets the ball down just inside the Cardinal 15-yard line. So they're setting up with a 4th and 3. Short yardage here, Cardinals defense. Power formation for the Yellow Jackets. Cardinals need to stop here. Valdez into the backfield. Mancaro goes for that fake pitch. Mancaro's through. He's got the first down and more, and he's inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal. So they brought Valdez back in the backfield. Mancaro, this is the same play they ran earlier. He goes, fakes the pitch to Valdez to get the defense going one way, turns around and takes off right through the middle. It's a nicely drawn play. Clayton executes on it well, and now they're deep in Cardinal territory, knocking on the door. Cardinals trying to hold on to the shutout here. Quarterback, options out to Valdez. Valdez trying to cut it back. Cardinals pile him up. They flip him over and bring him down to the ground. Valdez might have lost yardage on that one. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
1 yard loss on the play will bring up 2nd and goal from the 6.
We're coming up on the end of the first quarter. Clayton's going to have just enough time for one more play. Now, Clayton used a timeout early, so they've only got 2 left this half. Now, it's still only the first quarter, so they've got plenty of time. Mancaro sets up. He's got splits out to each side. He's trying to find an opening. Defense is to him, and Mancaro's just going to throw it away in the end zone. They'll bring it back and reset.
Down and goal for the Yellow Jackets.
Coming around the side, Valdez is looking for an opening. Valdez is trying to bull his way in. It's close. He's in for a touchdown.
That brings the score. Turpin 32, Yellow Jackets 6. Extra point attempt on the way.
Yellow Jackets get their first score of the game. Cardinals give up their first score of the season. We're still in the first quarter, though, guys. There's a lot of football left to be played here. Clayton looking for the left side this time. Quintana finds an opening, and he's in.
The Yellow Jackets two-point conversion is good. Your score, Turpin Cardinals 32, Clayton Yellow Jackets 8.
So Clayton gets on the board. They get the score and the conversion. Well, it was going to be a tall order to keep Clayton out of the end zone, a team that made it to state last year, all the way to the finals in their class. So one of the top teams in this class in New Mexico, which would be the equivalent of our Class B, 120 in the high school, so lining and matching up. And the Cardinals had kept them scoreless while piling up 32 points. But Clayton answers, and now the Cardinals have a 3-score lead. 32-8, leading big here on the road in Clayton, New Mexico. One thing that I'm watching personally, Cardinals have climbed the mountain, so to speak. We've gone up in altitude 2,500 feet. Now, Clayton's used to playing New Mexico teams. It's going to be a similar setting for them. They're used to it. How does that affect the Cardinals, though? If this game starts going long, if Clayton can hang in it, does that affect the Cardinals' conditioning? They kicked it before the whistle. Salvarado steps up. He doesn't wait, which is the right move. That should be a dead play. The whistle should indicate that they're getting ready to kick. Clayton didn't wait. They took off on it. So things a little looser than we're used to. But the Cardinals' offense is out there getting ready for another possession. Cardinals have not been stopped. They've scored on every possession so far. Hey, Peters is in the backfield. He's got Huffman back beside him. Out to one side near us, he's got Fowler and Alvarado, and then we're going to have a false start. Fowler and Alvarado move with the count, but the ball didn't get snapped, so not sure what happened there, some sort of miscommunication. Cardinals started the game with a false start and then scored on the very next play. Hopefully we can have a similar trend here. Offensive line, I mentioned them at the start. Let's get them back and give them some more credit. They've been doing a great job so far. Algeen's snapping the ball. He's got Leonard and Alex Alvarado out to the side of him. Your wide receivers up top, you've got Ireland and Saul Alvarado. Down here on the near side, you got Riley Fowler. In the back, getting ready to receive the snap, quarterback Carson Peters. And beside him, his running back is Jet Huffman. Huffman and Peters have been a dynamic duo last year, combining for over 4,000 yards of offense. Peters takes a snap, gets an opening. He'll get to the edge. He's got an opening. He's tight roping. He's cutting back. Oh, no, we might have a... Nope, we're safe on it. Looked like we were going to have potentially a block in the back. It did not get called. There's no laundry on the field. Peters is in. Comes down the sideline, sees an opening as Clayton had reacted to come over and try to hem him in. Carson uses the speed and the moves, cuts back. He's in for 6. So Clayton fought their way down the field, challenging against the Cardinals. Cardinals turn around, answer in a heartbeat, and they're trying to add another 2. Handoff to Fowler. Fowler dives in. Power football right there. That's another 2 points. Cardinals taking almost no time. I'd mentioned, man, it made me look good, Carson. If you're watching this later, thank you. We had the false start penalty, and I'd mentioned earlier in the game, 2 times now the Cardinals had a false start penalty and scored on the very next play. Here on this side, and I got that long cord, so you can plug in here and take it over here on the shade. Hold it up against you. Hold it. You're cooler than it is. Our huddle camera is overheating. We're in the sun. It's not that the temperature here is not that bad, but we are still in the sun. Things are getting warm, so it's something I'm trying to guard against and keep your film camera out of the way. If nothing else, Cardinals can come back and cut it up on huddle if they need to, but we got bigger things to worry about, though, don't we? Cardinal football we got the hot heating up the cameras, and Cardinal football's heating up the turf out there. Clayton in a bad spot. By the way, that was the last play of the first quarter. Cardinals put 40 points on the quarter. So we'll go to the second. We'll flip the field. Huffman is stepping back out there to kick off again. Back deep for Clayton. You got Valdez. You got Quintana. Cardinals setting up. Nelson Alvarado, Ireland on this side. On the far side, you got Moreno. You got Peters. You got Fowler. Oh, an opening. Quintana's got an opening. Huffman's going to track him down and push him out of bounds. Quintana does a great job there. I didn't get a chance to name him earlier, but Logan Ratzlaff also out there on kick coverage. Clayton's starting to warm up a little bit on offense. Their defense, still no answers for what the Cardinals are able to do. Cardinals scoring points by the bushel here.
Yeah, he went through the hole. He went through the hole and then bounced it, Coach. He went through the hole and then bounced it. It was through the middle and then kicked. Right, on both sides.
Do you see what I'm doing? You see?
Beat the block and continue to run. 21's your middle guy.
All right. Clayton setting up on offense. Looking down the field again. Oh, nicely done. That might be a fumble. Nope, they're going to say incomplete pass over the middle to Quintana. Cardinals are starting to get this thing tracked down. Mancaro does a great job of finding open spots, but the Cardinals are getting closer and closer and closer. I'm trying to call it here. I predicted a touchdown after a false start. Maybe we can see an interception coming up here. Fowler had one a moment ago that he knocked with one hand, almost got 2 hands on it, was able to take it to the house. One mistake by Mancaro. Cardinals have a lot of playmakers on the field. Defense right now, you got Moreno back there in the linebacker spot. Over here on the near side of the field, you got Navarro again. So Huffman taking a break. Oh, bringing it out. That might be a horse collar. Yep. Great job to bring down Mancaro. Only problem was he brought him down by the back of the pads. So I think we'll see a horse collar on that.
Defense, Cardinals,
So it's one of those things, it's a hustle play. He wasn't looking for anything dirty, but the referees have to protect the player. Pulling somebody down from behind like that can be really hard on the knees. So no bad motive on Ryder's part, just going to make the play, but referees have to call that. That is a 15-yard penalty. It does add up like an unsportsmanlike, so it counts as a 15-yarder. Mancaro hopped right up. He was okay. That puts the Yellow Jackets back in Cardinals territory. Swing over on the left of Valdez. He's met immediately. Riley Fowler was out there. He read that play, and it's only a 1-yard gain. No, that's actually a loss on the play. So, tackled for loss by Fowler. Yellow Jackets will set up again. Cardinals with the huge lead. Now, we may have something come up where I have to get clarification on points here in a little bit. I told you that New Mexico does things a little bit differently. They don't do the same mercy rule that Oklahoma does. Oh, 3 guys release. 2 of them were open. Nice pass and catch. Down the field, McGuire had an opening working against Alvarado.
Leonard's got to go. He'll just slide down the line with him. He's going to get him. And Saul's playing in between the two.
So Clayton's getting some passing yards. They're able to get chunk plays against the Cardinals. So we're turning into a barnstorming match here. Both teams' offense is getting unleashed. Mancaro sets up again, but this time it's a power formation. He's got Valdez over on the left, Quintana on the right, Quintana in motion. Pitch to Quintana. Oh, we got a hold. This one's going to come back. Cardinals get a loss on the play. It might be worth it for the Cardinals to go ahead and take the down. Clayton lost yardage, so they could back him up and go first down again, but Coach Hanna's got a decision to make here. His defense did a great job. Loss on the play of couple of yards, might be 2 yards. So the Cardinals will either be looking at 2nd and 12 or 1st and 20.
Illegal block in the back.
Cardinals are going to take the penalty, march them back 10. If the defense is doing that good, let's see if we can get some more yardage. Also, another factor to consider is Cardinals defense is starting to get closer and closer on some of these pass plays. It might provide another opportunity for the Cardinals to be able to get a turnover. Hand off, right in the middle. Cardinals going for the ball. Loose ball. It's picked up. So, Yellow Jackets put the ball on the turf. McGuire is able to get to it. He grabs the ball and is able to advance it a few yards. So it's 2nd down, spotted to the 30. Might have been a loss on the play, a short loss, because the play got tangled up in the backfield. Either way, it's 2nd and a whole long way to go. Ball's at the 30, and Clayton's got to get all the way down to almost the 10-yard line to get a first down.
He did a better job of setting it up that time. There wasn't a big old window there.
2nd down. Oh, Clayton's going to set up 3 out here to the near side. They've got Quintana. They've got Urrutia. Oh, Cardinals jump it. Loss on the play. Cardinals defense steps up big. Great job on that read. Alvarado was over there. Fowler was over there. Cardinals defense pushing the Yellow Jackets backwards on this line, or this set of sticks. It's going to be 3rd and a long way to go. Ebersol will come off. Cardinals will spell him. We'll see who's coming in. Ireland's still on that one end. Leonard's on the other end. Moreno's going to handle Ebersol's duties right there in the middle. Alex Alvarado's at linebacker again. You've got Riley Fowler at the other linebacker. Saul Alvarado's back as the deep safety. Huffman's on the far side corner. Near side corner is Elijah Navarro. So Cardinals using their depth well here. It is hot in the sun, not going to lie. Air temperature around 80, but it feels a lot warmer than that. Leonard! He gets it loose! Moreno wraps it up. They're going to say it was an incomplete pass. Leonard went to go wrap up. Oh, we got a penalty. It's dropped at the play. Oh, okay. So we're going to have grounding. He went to throw. There was nobody nearby. So you'll have quarterback grounding. It'll mean that we'll go ahead and go to 4th down. Looks like the official's double-checking his rule book here, make sure he's got everything right. I got no problem with that. I'd rather you have the right call and take a few minutes than get it wrong and potentially hurt the Cardinals on this.
Hey, you want to go safe return here, Coach, and play defense.
So Jackson Leonard He'd had a couple of times adjusting on this series to how he was handling the play. This Cardinals defense, they've got a lot of experience. A lot of these guys have played a bunch, but it hasn't all been game time experience. And Leonard was hurt last year and didn't get a lot of live fire. Holy crap, that's a long way to go back, guys. That's a 10-yard loss on that play. It will be fourth down. It's a mile to go, guys. They've got to go to their own 10, or sorry, they got to go to the Cardinal 10 to get a first down, and now it's spotted back in Clayton territory at the 47-yard line. So Huffman's going to go back to return a punt. Valdez is setting up deep to punt. There's no chance you're going to have a fake here unless Coach Garcia just lost his ever-loving mind. He hasn't, though. Valdez punts it. It's going to go out of bounds. Not a bad punt. So going to go outside of the Cardinal 20-yard line, maybe the 20, maybe the 22. Cardinals will set up there with a chance to run their offense again. So Cardinals will have a nice long field to work with to pad the stats and get some yards if they can get another one of those long touchdowns. Alvarado's had a long play. CP has had a long play. Jets had a long play. It's been chunk yardage for the Cardinals as they've been piling up the points.
2 up front. You're going to have a 1 and a 3 away.
Cardinals trying to get set up to do it again.
Backers all over this way. You only got one guy on that other side coming on your lines. Your quarterback keeps stuff there.
We've got a screen set up for Ryder Ireland. He runs into contact, puts his head down. We get a slobber knocker going, and Ireland picks up 5 or 6 yards. So Cardinals going with a little more power football set up out on the edge. Wide receivers getting in on the action. Alex Alvarado coming from his spot on the line to go ahead and pop some leather with a couple of guys. Good yardage, and the Cardinals are now set up for second down and 5, or a long 4 or a short 5. CP's got Huffman and gives him the handoff. Huffman makes a guy miss, finds an opening. Oh, here goes Jet. Jet's got one guy. There's no chance. Huffman's got sprinter speed. He's down the field, and it's another long touchdown for the Cardinals.
Cardinal touchdown.
46-8 now, Cardinals. The offense is almost as smoking hot as the sun is on our electronics up here in the booth. We're trying to keep everything running. Tell you what, there's a lot less air in between us and the sun here at almost a mile high. CP looking for the edge. He's in for the extra points. Cardinals get the conversion. Now it's 48-8.
You got another D in for him?
In case you're wondering, the mercy rule here in New Mexico. It's worth mentioning now that it's a 40-point difference. I don't know if it kicks in the second half or if it's at any point in the game, but at a 50-point difference, the game is over. But again, that might be only in the second half. I'll give you a little bit more on that, but here's your cheerleaders.
Watson, who's your next DM? Yes.
All right.
Huffman sets a kick for the Cardinals.
Cardinals are setting up.
Valdez guys deep to receive for the Yellow Jackets.
Huffman is setting up to kick.
Who's your next? You got a DN to rotate those guys a little bit with the ones.
Coverage teams out there. Nelson, Alvarado, Ireland on the near side. Ratzlaff, Fowler, Moreno, and Peters on the far side. Bracketing Huffman. Huffman's kick deep. Valdez has got it. Valdez looking for an opening. Valdez gets past Peters, trying to get past somebody, but he's wrapped up and brought down just past his own 20. Good job by the coverage team.
Peters and Ratzlaff.
So Peters and Ratzlaff finally bring him down. Valdez gains a couple of yards on it, but the coverage team doing a great job that time. There have been a couple of good returns by Clayton, but this time defense is able to step up and shut it down. Cardinals defense heading back out on the field.
Double wing. Quarterback.
Power formation. They've got two tight ends. They bring Valdez around. They do that little fake and give it to Quintana. Quintana cuts up field, gets a nice gain. They've done that several times. They'll line up double tight ends. They'll bring Valdez from one side, fake the pitch to him, and then coming underneath, Quintana will go on essentially what's like a tight end reverse. Effectively, it's probably more like a counter play. They'll line up in that same formation. So power again. They've been running out of this a lot. This time, Quintana tries to do a lead block. Valdez can't get free from his blockers. Fowler's been doing a good job tracking him down from the backside. They've been trying to run away from Fowler. Fowler just won't cooperate. He brings Valdez down. It's going to be second. Man, there's not far to go.
Just a little flatter. Flatter down the line.
About the width of the ball.
Third and not much.
So Cardinals with a chance to get the ball back here, but
Yeah, he'll wheel it and take it back the other way.
being down by 40, there's a good chance Clayton is in four-down territory here. So they're in power formation. Valdez behind. They fake it. Oh, they got him in the backfield. Cardinals pile it up. Ebersol just about took the handoff himself. Mancaro holds on to it. He'd fake that pitch. Otherwise, Ebersol might have had a chance to rumble down the field for a touchdown. Ebersol getting great penetration on that. Cardinals use the penetration, follow behind Ebersol, and are able to bring down Mancaro in the backfield. It's a loss on the play, but not by a lot. It's fourth and about 1 to go. Clayton's inside their own 35. I mean, normally you'd punt this, but Coach Garcia, he's in a big hole here with the Cardinal offense outperforming Clayton's defense by so much in this game. Clayton hasn't come close to stopping the Cardinals yet, so yeah, pistol formation, wideouts to each side. Cardinals are anxious and jump it. That's a tactic Coach Hanna loves to use. Get them anxious to jump. Get them anxious. Get them to where they want to penetrate. And then use that against them. Use that energy against the defense and get them coming the other way. So the Cardinals pay the price on that and will give up the first down on a penalty. Now, the Cardinals have been responding extremely well after penalties. We've been getting touchdown after penalties before. Can we do it on the defense? Cardinals have one turnover, but maybe it's time for a pick six. Let's try to will it into existence. Here comes a deep ball. CP trying to play it. It's caught out of bounds after a great catch as Quintana. Quintana's knocked out of bounds immediately, but a big yardage chunk play for Clayton, and the ball will be out of bounds at the 35-yard line. So
We're out here, weren't we?
tell you what, CP played it conservative. He might have been able to go for that ball, but instead he waited and let it come down instead of overplaying it. If he overplays it, Quintana catches that and might be able to take off and go score. Double tight ends again. This time they hand it underneath. It's the reverse of the way they had been running the play. Usually they'll run Valdez in motion over the top of Mancaro, and then underneath they'll hand it off to Quintana. This time, they sent Quintana over the top, going one direction, fake the pitch, spin around and hand off to Valdez coming underneath the opposite direction. So, like I said, effectively it's working almost like a counterplay.
He's doing a great job with his hands up.
It's a misdirection and trying to go and cut back against the grain of the Cardinal defense. This time they're going to line a bunch of people outside. They got splits to either side. Mancaro's in the backfield by himself. Cardinals adjusting the defense, and then a handoff, little jet sweep. Cardinals have it bottled up. Loss on the play. Cardinals defense really handling those looks. It might be a little too similar to what the Cardinals are used to seeing in practice. That was McGuire. No gain on, oh, he might have had a little gain on the play, but it's third down and long coming up. Clayton did a good job of getting into Cardinal territory off the big play, but the Cardinal defense has responded and has helped shut them down since third and long. Again, it's probably 4-down territory with the Cardinals leading by 40.
Doubles. Tight.
Whoa, over the top. Alvarado just about gets to it. I tell you what, Clayton got lucky in two different ways. Ebersol gets tremendous penetration, gets to the play in Mancaro's face. Mancaro has to loft it, a little jump pass just to get rid of it in time to get to Ebersol. He had a man, but he couldn't get enough on it, and Saul Alvarado, if he's a couple inches taller, he's picking that thing off. Saul can jump. He gets a little piece of it and is able to defend the pass. And now 4th and long to go. Cardinals with a couple of defensive substitutions. Moreno is going to come in. He'll be on the defensive line. That'll give Ebersol a little bit of a break. CP is in on the near side at defensive back. Navarro's in on the far side defensive back. Everybody else is staying the same. Trips over here on our side. Quintana and Peterson over here with Valdez. Penalty on the play. We'll see what it is. Both sides pointing at each other. Cardinals think that Clayton jumped off. And it is a false start on Clayton. Well, they were going for it on 4th and long. 4th and longer isn't going to stop them.
It'll bring up 5-yard penalty. Will bring up 4th down and 14
They got a little screen or something with 21 when he lines up at the third. It's 3.
So they'd run trips to the right. Who knows what they were going to do. They've been trying to look downfield when they can. Mancaro likes lofting it. I'm still trying to speak it into being of the Cardinals' defense reading this pass and getting there in time. We've had several close plays and tipped some passes. We got a turnover off a loose ball. We knocked another ball loose, and it was recovered by Clayton. So Cardinals are playing the ball hawk role right now. Really getting hungry for the turnovers. Pistol formation. Mancaro receives it, drops back. Here comes Ryder this time. Oh, it's a spring. It's a screen in the middle. Oh, Valdez has an opening. Valdez is going to be in. Great play call by Clayton. They took advantage of the Cardinals coming hungry after the turnover. Nice trick play. They snuck a couple of linemen along with Valdez out into the middle of the field. He caught it, had the blockers set up and the picket fence for him. He's down the sideline and in for a touchdown. Second score for Clayton.
They have one. We didn't see it on film, though. Good. That's a good DN. That's a good DN.
Cardinals stuff it.
Byron did a good job. No, Byron did exactly what he did. Tunnel himself in the head. He did exactly what he did. He forced it back underneath. More to bounce.
Your score, Turpin Cardinals 48, Clayton Yellow Jackets 14.
Oops.
He count on the pull.
That's 48-14. Cardinals with the big lead. Clayton getting another score. Cardinals will try to answer.
Somebody tell Saul to get down on the onside. You're all right. Yeah, that's a little middle screen. That allows him to be a little bit lazy. Catch it in the middle of the block for green grass.
On count of the kickoff for the Yellow Jackets, Peters back deep in the C for the Cardinals.
All right. All right. Clayton kicks off again. They go for onside kicks all the time. Cardinals recover it. That's Ireland on it. Ireland's got the hands to be able to handle a situation like that. Good job.
From the 43-yard line.
Cardinals will go back on offense. The Cardinal offense has been stellar. Clayton has not been able to shut down Cardinals in any way, form, or fashion. I don't think Cardinals even seen a third down yet. Cardinals offense has just been fantastic. Peters is back deep. He's got trips out to the right side of him. He's got Fowler, Alvarado, and Huffman close to him. Ireland's set up on the other side. Looking deep. Oh, Huffman was ready for it. CP just leads him just a little bit too much. Jets got awfully good speed, but CP just overdid it by a tiny amount. Again, that dynamic duo for the Cardinals was good for over 4,000 yards between the two of them last year. Cardinals will keep the same personnel package out there. Algeen's still snapping. He's got Alvarado on his left and Leonard on his right. CP set up this time with two wide receivers to his right and one to his left. Huffman in the backfield. Dump it to Huffman in the middle. Here goes Jet. Jet's looking for an opening. One guy tries. Takes more than one guy to get Jet down. Jet will get stopped over on the far right side, but not before he gets another big chunk play for the Cardinals. It'll be first down deep in the Yellow Jacket territory. 35, 36-yard line, somewhere around there. Yep, they're going to stop the ball right on the yard line of the 35. Jet's going to come out. In comes Angel Moreno. Jet's been getting a lot of work on both sides of the ball. And a timeout by Clayton.
Timeout on the field. Yellow Jackets, that'll be the third and final timeout of the first half.
He's out.
We are Turpin. We are Turpin.
Here's your Cardinal cheerleaders.
Turpin. We are 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 Turpin.
I was curious with coming here to play at 1 o'clock in the afternoon what kind of weather we'd have, what the temperature would be like. And I got to tell you, it's nice, beautiful, beautiful day here, but it is warm in the sun, guys. That sun's beating down. People in the stands hope they brought their extra heavy-duty sunscreen. We're at a high enough altitude. There's a little bit less atmosphere in between us here in the sun than those of you who are watching at Turpin. Cardinals offense sets back up. Peters in the backfield, Ireland on the near side. He's got Fowler coming in motion to join Ireland. Far side is Moreno and Alvarado. Over the middle to Moreno. Moreno's got the catch. They're holding on to his back, trying to ride him. That'll be a horse collar. Moreno. Didn't matter if somebody had the reins. Angel takes off and carries the tackler all the way down inside the Cardinal 10-yard line. So again, likely a horse collar. He was holding on to the back and dragging him by it. But I don't know. We'll see what the referees call here.
Personal foul.
That's exactly right. So that's at the end of the play.
It'll be half the distance to the goal.
It was already 1st and goal, so now it's 1st and a little less toward the goal.
1st and goal from the 4-yard line.
Let me see what I can do to give you this play as the Cardinals get ready. CP comes up, adjusts something at the line. He's got splits to either side. Earlier, they ran him in on it. Yep. Nobody's going to stop him. CP's big. He's fast. He makes a quick move, follows behind Alvarado. And it's just too much for Clayton to try and spread the field and cover CP breaking inside for that touchdown.
That'll bring the score Cardinals 54, Yellow Jackets 14.
Turpin 54, Clayton 14. Cardinals with that 40-point lead. They're setting up in the 8-man eye. CP hands it off. Coming around the right side. Oh, he's drugged down. He won't be able to get it. They were trying to run Navarro. If Navarro follows his blockers, it might be there, but Elijah was looking for the outside edge and didn't make it. Let me back off here. We'll pick up the cheerleaders as they celebrate yet another touchdown by the Cardinals. It's almost halftime. We got 45 seconds left on the clock. We will see a second half.
After the first snap, it'll roll.
Cardinals had 32 in the first 6 minutes.
On our back deep to receive for the Yellow Jackets.
Just came out and blitzed Clayton, but Clayton did a good job starting to respond on offense. Cardinals stretched out to 40 points, but haven't been able to pull away further than that. I say pull away. 5 scores. So Cardinals have maintained a 5-score lead on Clayton. And it's turned into all offense at this point. Cardinals defense is doing a much better job than Clayton at getting stops, but Clayton has been able to fight through and still get a couple of scores on these last couple of drives. Quintana's got it. He's looking for an opening. He makes one-man miss. He's fighting with Gage Peters back there. He's working. Nelson's trying to fight through it. And eventually Jed will knock him out of bounds. There's a flag over on the far side of the field, so we've got a little bit of dirty laundry on the field. That's going to be holding against Clayton, so that nice kick return completely negated by that. That's 10 yards from the spot, not from the end of the return. So Clayton will start deep in their own territory again. They don't have much clock to work with. They got 31 seconds. So get ready for them to come lofting that ball over the top again. Cardinals have had several close calls on getting turnovers. This might be the opportunity for the Cardinals to do it. Now, it is not a 45-point rule. Cardinals are up by 40, but even if they get a turnover and score here, we will have a second half. The mercy rule in New Mexico is 50 points, not 45. Cardinals defense. Clayton's got a whole bunch of people piled up. They give it to Valdez. Valdez is looking for left side edge. He finds it, but it's going to be a hold. So that's going to come back. Valdez gains about 6, maybe a little more. Alvarado was working against him, helping get him out of bounds. That would have stopped the clock. Clayton doesn't have any timeouts, so after the penalty, they'll run the clock.
Holding on the offense.
So only 24 seconds left. Clayton's going to have to get ready here.
5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Or 10-yard penalty. It'll be
Yeah,
first
10 yards back.
and 20 from the 8-yard line.
Man, 8-yard line. 92 yards to go. Cardinal defense just has to hold firm here. Cardinals have their base defense out there. We don't really run anything novelty here. There's plenty of speed on the field. Clayton's set up. It's a handoff. They're just trying to go to half. We'll see if Coach Hanna wants to take a timeout, try to get the ball back. No, letting the clock run. 15 seconds left. Carson's going to come off. Something happened. He's a little shaken up. Gage Peters will enter at defensive back, and that's the half.
That'll do it for the first half of play. Your score, the Turpin Cardinals 54, Clayton Yellow Jackets 14.
Let me get you a water.
No, I got one. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, you know what? I will take one, actually. I will take one. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to get in the shade here. This booth has a couple of spots where I can get my electronics out of the sun, and we'll see what Clayton does for a halftime. Whew, it's getting warm here, folks. So Cardinals elects the field, go to the locker room for halftime. They got a 40-point lead, but it takes 50 here in New Mexico to end things. Even if we were in Oklahoma, we'd still be going as we do the 45-point mercy rule. By the way, another thing that New Mexico has in place if a game starts to get out of hand is at a 35-point difference, the clock begins to run. So not something that you'd notice, but that is a thing that they do here. All right, let's see what we can do. There's no way for me to show the clock running for halftime, so I'm going to have it over here. Otherwise, the phone will get too hot. We'll shut down and you won't get to see much for a while. So this is just what we'll have to do for a few minutes at least. Whoops. That won't do. Yep, currently 82 right now, but for those of you that follow the UV, suntanning, things like that. We are at a UV of 8, so it'd be a great day to go sun. Good day to add to your tan if you're wanting to. Only 7-mile-an-hour wind here, so that's not too much like home. Trying to think of the last time I would have seen an afternoon game for our Cardinals to play, and I can't think of too many opportunities where that might have been the case. I'm going to pull up what we had for football scores. Thank you. Football scores from yesterday to let you know what's going on. Yesterday in Class B, most teams, of course, played on Friday. Pioneer played against Drumright. That's a big game. Remember, Drumright had a really good squad last year, coached by a former Turpin alum, Chris Ellerick. But Pioneer came out on top at Drumright, 16-14. So the reason I mention that is Pioneer is now in Cardinal in the Turpin's district. So that is an opponent that we'll be seeing this year. Canton and Garber. Canton went to Garber and got worked. Garber winning